Okay. Okay, let me open. Oh fuck, I have the stream open. There we go. No.
I think it's weak-minded.
Okay, there we go. There's the stream.
You did it yourself.
Poor single monitor streamer, so have to put chat there.
Okay, that's all I'm going to say. I don't think it should be allowed. No, I think it ruins the competitive integrity of doing predictions in the first place.
Okay. Okay, let's open the Overwatch League channel and let's look at one map. Let's look at, because I'm interested, let's look at Shanghai versus New York. So there we go. I'm interested in like one of the last maps. They don't cut the fucking footage right. Really good. Thanks for the production, Overwatch League. But so okay, let me do something first. Oh, so there we go. There we go. So right here, okay, let me use this. Shanghai are gonna run the far comp versus like Ryan Zarya. What the fuck? Okay, so New York are rotating this way. They just want a turtle point. This is why they're rotating here. So let's talk about rotations on Lijiang Gardens. So like there are like two ways to approach point, as you all know. You can TP, like that's the third point. That's like the third way. I would prefer like New York use the sim. I'm not sure about this in particular. Like maybe they want the Sombra to like make it harder for Fate to do things, but I'm not sure if that's like a big enough of a benefit, because the sim, like the thing with the sim is that you can literally just TP onto point, and like there's no spam. Flood can't spam. You just turtle on point, but they want to run the Sombra, I guess, so they have to like do this rotation. Now, why not rotate here? And the reason is because like if you rotate here, then you're effectively wanting to fight for this area of the map. You want to fight, and like when you're running like non-brawl comps, then this is very important because you want to control the area around a point. You want to set up your backline maybe like over here or over here, and then like you're gonna have your dive tanks contest point, and then like the DPS are going to look to like pincer here or like pincer their point. So like going for this central pillar control and this whole area is important. But if you're just looking to turtle point, if you're just like saying, hey, we don't need control of the map, we just go here, and then like you just turtle in here. So that's their plan. The only problem is they're playing to not lose. They're not playing to win. And they have Zarya, so like you kind of need Diva to turtle. So this is kind of baffling from New York. Why are they running Zarya? Okay, so they're going to... Lip's going to farm. Since they just want to poke out this comp. And like Sombra playstyle wise, the Lip's going to farm from longer ranges because this is a more brawly comp. As I said in like one of my latest videos, or my latest video, that against brawlier comps, especially when you're running like a more spammier comp, you want to be you kind of want to be playing pretty passive. It's just me, or the stream is still... Oh, holy shit, holy shit. Sorry. Fuck. So, okay, let's restart this. Let's restart this. Why not? I'm sorry. So, so let's take a look. So let's go over, like, what I talked about, like, earlier. Thank you for telling me. I always forget. So, as you can see, let's take a look. So New York gonna run Rhine comp, and like they're going this way. They're rotating this way. You usually see both teams rotate like bridge. And the reason why they're going for this rotation in particular is because they literally just want a turtle on point. They literally just want to say, hey, we're going to rotate, 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 rotate. And, like, we're going to, like, play this half of point. And the benefit of that is that, like, if they want to contest, then they have to be on the point itself, which plays into New York's, like, brawl advantage. But, on the other hand, it means that, like, they're pretty much reliant on like, getting an opportunity, like finding an opportunity. Shanghai would have to feed for them to like win this fight long term, for them to hold point and then use ultimates to win the next fight, like get the 99% on control point. So like they're just playing for like 20 to 30% of cap, and like I'm not a big fan of this. I'm not a big fan. Why? Because they're running Zarya. They're running Zarya. Like that. Like Zarya's a lamppost against this comp. This comp is a Pharah. If you don't have a diva, you're just going to die pretty quickly. So I'm not a big fan of this comp. Now, like, could they just, like, maybe rotate this way? And the answer is, well, not really. Because, look, they have a Brig. And the thing with a Brig is, you kind of need speed boost to actually effectively fight. Otherwise, like, if you don't have speed boost, you'll just rotate here. And then just lumber your way towards the Ana or your target. And then they'll just, like, kite back really easily. And then, meanwhile, you're going to take a shit ton of spam from Lip probably on point. And Flata's going to be poking. And Fate's just going to poke you from the side. So, you don't want that. You have a Brig, sure, it makes you a bit more better against Ball, but not that much. You kind of need a Lucio to actually be a death ball. Otherwise, you're just a sustained ball, if you know what I mean. So, let's take a look. Let's take a look at this fight. So, as you can see, like, Lip's just farming from range. He's using his range, as I said in one of my latest videos. Sombra against Brawl comps, they really want to play, like, far away at first, at least. Like, far away, shallower angle, where they can get more support. Like, in this case, he has a health pack. And as you can see, New York are just going to turtle in here, but the problem is they're running Zarya. And, like, if they're running Zarya, look at how much work Fleta can do. Like, he's just spamming them hard. Okay, Fate dies. Okay, let me see. Yeah, Fate just engaged way too early. Fate should have, like, played here a bit. Spam, spam, spam. If like, a Feather tries to hack him, then he doesn't really care if he stands, like, over here. He can just kite back to here, and they have no speed boost, so he doesn't really care. He just needs to keep poking, but right here, he uses Adaptive Shield, and he still engages into the Death Ball. He just needed to wait until maybe Fleta has his ult, and then, like, that was an easy win. You combine Pile Drive with Barrage, and that should win against Rein Zarya. Okay, and by the way, Rein Zarya really sucks. Please don't play Rein Zarya, even in ladder. Why do people still play Rein Zarya? It's not because Rein is bad, it's because Zarya is fucking dog shit. I'm sorry. Like, the thing with Rein Zarya is that, like, anyone who flanks, how are you going to enforce the space? If like, there's a Tracer, how are you going to peel for your backline? If there's an Ashe, how are you going to, like, eat the Dynamite? Which is, like, huge source of burst damage. Or how are you going to, like, prevent Ashe from just standing, like, semi-close to your team and just spamming you from the back? It's the things that Zarya can't do, that D.Va can do much better. And like, why? Well, why do, like, even top 500 games, they always play Rein fucking Zarya? I'm sorry. Why don't people just play D.Va? D.Va's busted. Anyways, like, Shanghai played this well. Like, at least played the poke phase well, so they do have ultimates. Lip does farm this very quickly. And the reason is because he prioritizes uptime over landing, like, 1 clips or, like, 2, like, trying to go for risky neutral hacks. So you can see EMP, and, like, Rein Zarya. Okay, like, even if it was D.Va, probably wouldn't be eaten. So, as you can see, Shanghai are just going to brawl, and there's not much they can do. The only way that New York could have won this fight was if maybe Flora set up on an angle, and maybe tried to punish this. So, Flora got hacked, though. Well, he didn't even get ult. Like, the thing with Rein Zarya is that, like, if they had D.Va... If they had D.Va, if Flora, like, if Kalios was running Diva, then Flora could have just like got DM'd and farmed his ult, or Feather could have got DM'd and farmed his ult. Diva is also really good for farming your ult during poke phases because like it means you can peek Fleta safely, it means you can like yeah, basically Fleta safely, but and so like they win because Zarya is a dog shit pick. I'm sorry. Like Zarya. Like if you like Diva just provides so much utility, and I think like the reason why Flora didn't have like High Noon there was because Kalios was on Zarya. Like a standard combo on Legion Gardens is to have Diva, like not Zarya. Oh hi midget, how's it going? I should rename that. I should rename my channel. So so like the thing with Zarya is the problem with Zarya is that like on Legion Gardens it's very common like due to like the long sight lines to have your Diva defense matrix your like Sombra or your other DPS and you just have them farm their ult. It's really common. But like if you have Zarya, you're gonna give them 2 seconds of bubble and then it poof, it's gone. No defense matrix. It's not as good as DM. And then like you won't have ult. Like, please switch off Zarya, please. Okay, so, like, they're going to do the same rotation. As I said, they can't just go over bridge. They don't have a Lucio. And as you can see, let's take a look at how Shanghai, like, take this fight. So, like, they don't want, like, New York to just pressure point for free. So they nano Fleta. And then they just, like, take the fight, like, past the point. And, like, now let's see what New York are doing. Okay, how does Flora die? Oh, was it because of, like, the Fate boop? I don't have the replay, but did Fate, like, do something? Fate. Oh, yeah, I don't know. And, like, they lost their main source of damage, which is not as bad as you think, because they're just wanting to turtle a point, but the thing is, like, if they lose their Kree, then Fate can now just, like, safely go in without getting stunned. And they have Zarya. What would you know? Like, this Diva character is kind of better against Ball, you know? So, now, what Shanghai are just going to do is just going to farm Barrage, and boom! Who's going to eat it? Who's going to eat the Barrage? The fucking Zarya bubble with 200 HP? Okay, let's take a look. As you can see, they're just going to go for the pull. They go for the grab, but they don't have Flora, so they can't really get anything out of the grab. You kind of need your main source of damage if you want to do anything offensive on this comp. Deep, thank God. Thank God. And they switched like a Winston comp. Now, like, okay, they're switching to like a Tracer Sombra. Like, usually, like, the standard counter pick to this would be like some sort of like to switch this to 200 HP bubble versus 3600 damage barrage. Exactly. But it can block shatter, you know, so that's why Zarya's better than Diva. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So, they're gonna rotate again. They switched Winston. The reason they switched Winston was probably because I honestly think it might be EMP. And when you have EMP, Winston is just a better tank for following up on EMP. That's why Winston and Sombra, like, Ball and Sombra work fine together, but Winston and Sombra are best friends. And the reason is because Winston can just go in and do shit tons of cleave damage. So, let's take a look. As you can see, Shanghai are doing this right again. They're trying to like do a lot of damage in their rotation. And without a Lucio, like, normally you see more of a Lucio, like, against this comp, because, like, you kind of need those fast rotations. But, like, since the rotations are slow on this comp, it's very exploitable if Shanghai have ults. And now, next fight should be, like, okay for New York, because, well, Izuyaki's 95, never mind. Izuyaki's 95 to Nano, so they're just going to cycle Nano and EMP. That's how they're going to take these fights. Oh, Fleta gets slapped. So right here, they're going for, like, a very aggressive engage. Okay, sure. And it catches them by surprise. So, like, okay, did they use Nano? Who did they nano? They nanoed Fleta. So Shanghai are playing this pretty aggressively, and that's good. And the reason why that's good is because like this comp wants to brawl. This comp wants to like go into the backline. But if you take the fight in their spawn, then like sure you might need to push your backline up a bit, but by taking the fight like first with ultimates, then you prevent this comp. So it's often said that like the attackers, like in this case in New York, choose when to fight, and defenders choose where to fight. And the thing is, that's not as clear cut as that's not as like unambiguous as you think. Both sides will be like fighting for the right to fight when they want and where they want. So ultimates allow you to choose when to fight effectively. And like the attackers, like sure they can choose like when to fight to an extent, but if Shanghai have ultimates, if Shanghai have a lot of ultimates, then they could just say you're trying to set up your angles and shit. Fuck you, we're just going to engage fast and we're just going to engage aggressively and boom. So like the good teams like Shanghai, Dallas, what it really means to control the tempo is that like you're not only choosing where to fight on, like especially on defense, you're not only choosing where to fight, you're also like choosing when to fight on defense. And that's what like allows like these teams to distinguish themselves from the others. Like teams that play like, it's not always that like the attackers choose when to fight or defenders choose where to fight in general. Both teams will be fighting for their share of the cut, like their cut of the share. My English is pretty bad today. So like in Shanghai, like they used to be pretty damn slowish. They didn't go for these tempo engages a lot. I remember reviewing like their main melee games where Fate just looked uncomfortable. And like they got out tempoed by Chengdu, and eventually did get better. Like they handled Dallas's tempo pretty well, but now like we see like these aggressive tempo engages even on less brawly comps than the enemy, and that's like something that the newer Shanghai, like nowadays, like the new Shanghai is a lot more confident than it was back in May. So I like to see that. Now, that being said, it isn't always good to just engage past, like, your kill box like that. It isn't always good. Engaging first is not always good. Okay, so, like, now New York are just going to have a scuffed fight. And obviously, like, without being able, like, if you're going to play this comp, you kind of need a clean fight. Otherwise, like, even if you, like, kill, like, Izuyaki, then Farah is pretty good right now. Farah is just going to rip apart your backline. You're just going to trade. You're going to be going through open space. So without clean rotations and clean setups, then like you can't take... It's not only clean rotations and clean setups. You have to do it in like a short amount of time, like really short amount of time. You need to have like... You need to like do it instantly. That's why like losing Lucio's bad, but you need to do it instantly. Otherwise like Farah is just going to get so much value. The only like viable alternative to playing Farah in this meta, I think, is playing a comp that can... Playing a slower, more map control dependent comp that can contest Farah. Like playing an Echo, Mercy will most likely switch the Farah off of like Farah. Or you could play Soldier. Soldier's pretty self-sufficient as well. Can support Soldier. Soldier can like not kill Farah necessarily, but at least like pacify Farah enough in that like she doesn't get that much value. So the thing is, you can't rely on tempo anymore nowadays. Teams have gone better at this, by the way, but you can't rely on tempo anymore to beat Farah comps. You need to contest the Farah, and like you can't play traditional hit scans as well because, well, you have Ball harassing you. You can have like a Somber Tracer harassing you. You have to like stay pretty stacked in your core. So playing like Kree, Ashe, like Ashe is fine, I guess, but please don't think Kree's a Farah counter. It's not. It's not. Once you use your flashbang, like don't think the Farah is gonna like play like far away from you. The Farah is just gonna be in your face, and there's nothing you can do about it because there's also a ball in your face. So don't think of hit scan as counter to Farah. Okay, match is starting, so we're just going to review this and then we'll go on to the actual match. So right here, they're going to play the Farah comp again. They're playing... New York going to play a more traditional, like, Winston comp. Oof, how does Lep die? like against this comp, you kind of need to play passive, as even like more passive against like the Rhine comp potentially, because you know this comp has good mid range poke, and like has Diva. Diva is like kind of annoying, so it has, and also Tracer to contest you. So you kind of need to play passive Sombra. I don't see Lip in the screen, but he probably just like positioned in there and got blown up. So mistake. Gets a res. Oh, he died here, so he's Legion gone. They didn't just engage to, you know, like if they wait, what? Why wasn't Void at least like DMing that? Why was Void just standing up here? Like it's obvious. Like either like Fate engages, he wasn't in a position, sure, but Void should be at least down here. So pretty big mistake. And now, oh my god. And now, like, what is this fight? So because of like that death, which required Legion Gun to res Lip, they completed the first step. They at least rotated their backline to somewhere secure. Now, like, what New York can do is they can look to kind of set Flora up on an angle. They can set Feather up on an angle. And they can just look to... Wait, oh, Izuyaki's up here. Interesting. They could just probably go for Izuyaki, maybe. Wait, how did Izuyaki get up here? Interesting. So, like, now, like, they set up their backline in a good position. Now they can, like, look to... Oh, the peel, though. Now they can look to, like, set up their angles. So they're spreading out a bit. They're spreading out. Flora, like, kind of stands out in the open. This is gnarly to watch. Well, why is he rolling this way? Okay, now he's in enemy territory. Oh, no. Sloppy. And now they're going to rotate to point. They're going to... So instead of like going for Izuyaki, I think that could be a possibility, potentially. They even scout out Izuyaki back there. Instead of going for Izuyaki, like they decide to just force point. Alright. Sure. Not a really big fan of that plan, but at least it will force them to fight if they want to take the point. Okay, so they complete the rotation successfully. Holy shit, this is a clusterfuck. And now... Oh, sorry. Fuck. I accidentally clicked my back button on my mouse. No worries, I can have a good memory. Oh, there we go. So now, New York forced a point, and they win because... Well, like, they pop their bubble to sustain, and they use, like, nano. But, like, here's the thing. Can they make this count? Can they make this count? Can they, like... They have the point, but if they don't do... Oh, my God. My fingers are... I wish I didn't have them. So, like, they take the point, but if they want a way out of it, they have to do something. Let's see what they do. They have nano. They're in a good position. And Lep just kind of threw that fight, honestly. So, like, they have Feather on an angle, and they should be able to pincer. Oh, Fate kills Feather. Wait. So the problem with, like, this map... The problem with this map is that, like... Like, this map has, like, some angles. This map has this angle and this angle. The problem is it's separated by a wall, and there's even a slight wall here. So like, if you pincer this way, you can't really receive support from your brig that easily. So like Shanghai, what they're doing right now is they're trying to, instead of playing a more pressure-oriented game where they just go into the backline, they can't immediately because brig Cree. Instead of doing that, Fate's just going to look to harass Feather. And if you harass Feather, then Yakpunk can dive, even with Nano. But if Feather isn't here to follow up, then like, they will survive. And Izuyaki's in a neat position back here, but it's actually good because, well, New York want to aggress. New York want to, like, play here. But if they play here, then Fate wants to play defensively. But if Fate is playing more defensively, then it allows Izuyaki to position more safely. So, like, New York really only have, like, Void to target, or maybe Li Zhengan. Izuyaki's going to be pretty hard unless you, like, rotate your backline over here, which is more exposed to, like, Forest Spam, and you jump in. So, I'm really interested. It's really interesting. Okay, I'm going to keep reviewing this during the break. Let's do the Overwatch League. Well, let's do my bread and butter. Let's, at least at this stream. So, okay, it's Rain versus Outlaws. This is gonna be pretty close. They're clearly, like, reviewing their turtle comps. They're probably gonna play a shit ton of Ryan. Only problem with turtling in this meta is just that you don't have Lucio. You kind of need Lucio against, like, Pharah. If they have Pharah, then like, one of the, like, strong responses to Pharah, if you're not going to contest the Pharah, is having a Lucio, so at least you can speed onto their backline. But you can't even do that anymore. You have Brig. Brig isn't that useful as, like, hey, we're going to CC you, we're going to punish your dive. That's not how Brig works. Balls are smarter now. Way smarter than they were, like, last year. And Balls will just, instead of, like, engaging on you immediately, they'll just play, like, the poke game. They'll just harass you. They'll just roll through and break. It's harder to counter that. It's harder. And then only when you use stun, only when you use bash, like flashbang or bash, will they, like, pile drive. So Balls are way smarter than before. Way smarter. Like, seeing Ball play from, like a year ago should be culture shock. Should be culture shock how bad they used to be. But, like, now, like, Balls, like, are much better at controlling their aggression. That's why Sombra is no longer really a counter. That's why Pharah is no longer... Not Pharah. That's why, like, any CC in general is no longer a counter. Balls are just getting better at denying hacks, playing around Whipshot and Bash, playing around Flashbang. So, like, you can't rely on that anymore. You kind of have to rely on, like, doing your own thing instead of countering. Like, for example, you go Lucio, so you have fast rotations against, like, a Pharah comp. And fast rotations, like, it's not reliable by any means, but it is a way of beating Pharah without contesting Pharah itself. So, okay, both wait, the BAP? Oh, Jake's playing. This is probably going to be Brig Zen. Going to play the Pharah. I think Houston are going to play, like, Tracer Sombra. Like, on this map, it's semi-common to go, like, more of a Lucio dive, but of course you can't play Lucio, so forget about it. Oh, both sides are gonna go, like, the honest comp. So we see the Soldier. Okay, so Pelican is going to spam. Atlanta take more space initially, which is surprising because they have a Zen. And for the record, I don't really like Zhanggu's ball. Not because he died here, but because he tends to engage at stupid times. Like, Houston are so slow to, like, rotate out of that, like, little, like, thing. Like, you see where Happy is? Happy doesn't have sight lines. And they have a Zen. They have a Zen. Like, there's no excuse. The thing with Zen is that, like, it gives you map control. It gives you the ability to, like, force out players out of spaces you don't want. Like, you could Discord their diva and Harmony your diva, and your diva can just win the duel. So, like, why are Houston giving so much space? Like, I have to, like, look at this closer later, but Like, why is Jake Crimzo like just stuck here and they're just gonna why map? Why not Brig Zen or even Mercy Zen? Like Mercy Zen would probably be dumb, to be honest. It allows like Pelican to just go in and Edison and Gator to just brawl. Like this is like a more brawly comp than. And now Atlanta are going. If Atlanta are smart, they're just going to use their ults. They're just gonna like cycle. So like, oh my god, Jungkook dies. How is Jungkook all the way back there? Like all he has to do is like maybe duel Gator with their Zen advantage, to win the space for their team, so their team can push up, rotate out of this like corridor. Okay, holy shit. Like Houston are not playing the map control game well. Like why the fuck are they stuck here? They have a Zen. Jungkook just keeps feeding. Hey, at least they're kind of pushing out. They're using ultimates to kind of take space. And Pelican's under serious pressure now, so at least they have a chance. And if you force out Pelican, then Happy will have more consistent poke, so at least, like, Houston are playing, like, kind of smart now. They are using ultimates to push out, and once they do have these spaces, that's where their Zen will like, snowball. Their Zen will have more Discord targets, and then, like, you can send your ball, you can send your Tracer to help duel, to help, like, take the flanks, and then you can just snowball and take the point. So, like, Houston just have to have, like, a smither of aggression, and they win. And not like, hey, we're going to slam to the backline type of aggression immediately. Like, we're going to take duels on the flanks type of aggression. Okay, so, like, now Atlanta, they're going to do the Brawly rotation. This is common when you want to, like, force the fight. So, and... Wait, why did Crimzo Jake just stay back there? Why don't they just rotate? Okay, this is a messy fight. It's really hard to live review this, but I can at least see some trends. Okay, so they have Edison in the back line. They're playing Tracer Sombra now. So it's essentially going to be a mirror. They're going to hide from the thing. But damn, Houston just get so much space taken away from them. Like they gave up, like they have the window or some shit like that. Well, like why are they playing BAP? I don't know. Do they listen to like the Reddit hive mind who says BAP is OP? Because it isn't. You just don't know how to destroy a 100 HP stationary object. Okay, so they're going to rotate. Are they going to try to take the space? Or are they just going to stay here? If they stay here, then they're just going to get surrounded. Oh, so they're going to use trance to push out. Good. See? See, like, what happens when you're, like, not aggressive, like, immediately, but you actually, like, take the flanks. You actually take bridge control. You actually take point control. These are, like, the two main spaces you have to take before you can win this point. Okay, are they really going to rotate their backline? Are they just going to... why? Why? Why rotate back there? Why? Like, they just literally gave, Atlanta, like, this bridge. And they're playing Kree. That's more egregious now. Like, by positioning all the way, like, fucking back there, like, they can hold this. They have a Kree. They can hold that bridge. Better than a Sombra. They can hold the bridge. But they give it away. They give Atlanta this bridge, and then they're just surrounded from point. Happy as no sightlines. Damn, Houston are really bad at backline positioning. That's, like, their weakness. I think that's their big weakness. They don't know how to position their backline. Like they just keep giving up. Oh no. Like, Houston, they just keep giving up space for no fucking reason because they're scared? What are they scared of? Like, they have a Kree, they can hold that bridge. They can, like, help Junggu. They can help Happy get sightlines. They could help Dante better from that bridge position. But because they're backing up all the way there, then Atlanta just take point control. They take bridge control. And then you just get wrapped from two sides. And, like, when you give bridge control, you make it easy for them to even go out, like, the other entrance, like, over there. So like, there's a reason why bridge control is such an important theme on this map. Like, you have bridge, and then you just give it up. Sorry, Houston. No, like, they're playing like idiots. Okay, why aren't they running Zen? Why aren't they running Zen? So you have the Pharah. Happy's going to... They can't really keep doing this. Like, I don't like that Happy was going for, like, Gator there. Against this comp, you kind of need to get something into the back line. You kind of need to play more aggressive. Like, maybe have, like Happy, like, at least poke out the Yana a bit. At least force them to peel and give away some space. Okay, at least Dante's on a good angle. Good. They're trying to intrude into the back line. They try to go for a Mesa. Where's Happy, though? Happy should be back there here as well. At least they fought it right. Now, that being said, where was Gator during that fight? Why did Gator not, like, mark Junggu? Because on this comp, you kind of want to play more defensively. You want to buy time for your Pharah to get a lot of spam. Well, they don't need a Zen if Atlanta are not going to play this that well as well. So again, same plan. They're just going to make a bit of space. They have EMP, and are they... Well, why don't they just go for a tempo engage there? Hey, wait, how did Atlanta win this fight? They have EMP. You could like set up positions like forward. You could set up your ball up here, and then you could set up Happy, and then you could just go for like EMP pulse bomb or something. And you want to like kind of keep players in that small space. Otherwise, if they spread apart, then it creates a lot of space for Pelican. Okay, now they're on the back line. They're positioning here, longer sight lines. Okay, and then they go for an EMP. It shouldn't like get them to fight. Okay, well, why isn't this nano used though? They had the defensive positions to just brawl it out. Watching this versus APAC is kind of painful. Like both these teams are too scared to like use their ults to choose like when to fight. You know, like you don't want you don't want to fight when Happy's in your backline with EMP. That's for sure. Okay, so now as you can see, both teams are, I'm sorry, playing like shit, but I'd say Houston's playing more like shit. Okay, so they use Nano. They try to like brawl. Gator should be on there. You're gonna pop the rally to sustain. They have the barrage. Oh, it gets Jake. Holy shit, these fights are messy. Like, the reason why Pharah, like, appears to be so powerful is because teams don't know how to, like, fight cleanly. That you need to have clean fights against Pharah. If you even, like, leave Pharah alive and you only have, like, a 1% advantage, then you need to clean up, you need to use that advantage pretty quickly. Otherwise, Pharah's just going to carry. Or you need to kill the Pharah, but you can't really do this with this comp. You don't have Zen. That's, like, the key point. It's not even hit scan. You don't have Zen. If you want to play more map control oriented against Pharah, then you need a Zen. Okay, like, I'm not even gonna comment on this mid fight. Wait, how does Happy kill 2? Hawk should be peeling that. Like, Hawk kind of needs to play more peel oriented. Make Pelican the main carry instead of Hawk, like, going in. Like, the few times I've seen Hawk, I wasn't impressed by his DM usage as well. Like, he doesn't save DM for, like, the important, like, cooldowns and ultimates. That's what I mean by it. Okay. Third round. Okay, please don't tell me. Okay, I'm expecting one of these teams to go brawl. Just turtle on point. Okay. Okay, finally they have a Zen, though. So they want to play more map control oriented. Now, that being said, there's not a lot of space to work with, so I'm expecting, like, Atlanta to win. The thing is, when you want a Zen to be effective, you kind of need long sight lines. Otherwise, your Zen's just gonna get, like, dove like that. And also, like, Discord works better in longer spaces, like larger spaces, because, like, Discord isn't burst. Discord, like, helps you burst, but you kind of need, like, the opportunity to burst down your Discord target before, like, they are able to get close, or they're able to just, like, wait and wash it off. Like, if this map was, like, 2 times longer, let's say this like, contest was, like, something like Junkertown, then Zen would have got so much value. Pelican would get Discorded, and he'd take, like, so much damage before he gets to get close. And in longer ranges, Happy gets an advantage. And they're just gonna use ults. Sure. At least they get one, but it forces them to barrage, but sure. Fine. So now they switch to Yana. I honestly think they should mirror. Unless you have a Zen, then don't play Soldier. They should just mirror Pharah. Or play like Tracer, Sombra. Even Winston might work. So they're gonna rotate over to here because they don't want to get spammed out. They just... Yeah, but, like, Houston's comp is just worse. Like, they're gonna get spammed out until Happy, like, gets an angle to poke out. They're gonna force the point. But, like, look at how much stress their backline's over. Like, why? You can't just force the point. You kind of need to, like, you kind of need to put your backline somewhere secure. Like, maybe you could put it under that room, but if they don't take the high ground, then it's bad. They kind of need to take the high ground here. They don't have a comp that's, like, sustained, like, that has enough sustain to turtle. Like, they could have someone force point, and then force some players to point, and then push 5 high ground. Oh, and yeah, Atlanta are just going to out-tempo them. Please don't go BAP. Please don't go BAP. BAP's stupid. Bap is a stupid pick. Please don't listen to armchair Redditors saying that Bap's OP, because he isn't. Like, Zen's... If anything, Zen's more OP. Like, not with this, obviously, but Zen's just busted. It's only, like, the reason he isn't busted, and actually, he does have good win rates on ladder. But, like, the reason, like, he isn't, like, seriously overpowered is because, like, he's squishy. You need to protect him, but the thing is, protecting the Zen's one of the best ways to win in this meta. Because Zen's so powerful. Zen's, like, insane. His Discord's fucking insane. You just need to protect the Zen and he'll win the game for you. That's like, ball comps. Like, if anything, the star of ball comps isn't the ball or the tracer, it's the Zen. The reason why ball's good is... One of the biggest reasons why ball's good is because he can run Zen. Like, ball itself received, like, a bunch of nerfs. Winston, like... is kind of underwhelming right now, but still, Ball isn't as, like, the great boss as he was before, but the fact that he can run Zen with Ball is just insane. It's just insane. So, right here, now Houston have the point. Now they're just gonna brawl. They're just gonna brawl. Where's Junggu? Where's, like, the pressure from Junggu? Okay, sorry, I have to, like, see. Junggu should immediately be counter diving. He needs to be putting more pressure. Okay, he's kind of putting, like, he has so much HP. Like, who cares? Like, even dying here would be better. Even, like, going aggressive and dying here would be better. You need to counter dive. If they're brawling with you, like, you don't want to fight 6v5. Even if you're running, like, the worst brawl comp. You can't fight 6v5. If they try to trade you out, then you go in. And Atlanta just win this because Houston are dumb. Houston are dumbasses. Like, why do they stay on the BAP? Like, the thing is, BAP has no peel utility as well. Well, he has the M more, but... Sure, but, like, it's really easy to destroy with this comp. It's not like Brawl, where, like, you can place the M more near a corner and like, let it live forever. Against, like, these divey comps, you can just literally destroy the M more in 1 second. And then, like, suddenly BAP's a lamppost that can jump. Okay. So let's look at what Houston did wrong. Let's look at what Houston did wrong here in this last fight. Let's look at how Atlanta lost a point first. So right here, they're going to take a tempo engage past a choke. They get punished for it, though. Let's look at this barrage. There needs to be pressure from Gator before this happens, and he shouldn't be doing with 27 HP. They did this way too fast. They went way too fast here. I'll have to review this match, like, once a replay viewer is done, but... It's pretty interesting how shit Houston's rotations are. But as you can see, they're positioning high ground, sure. And, like, now they just... How does Happy die? Like, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Like, Junggu's holding this flank. So sure, like, you need an angle to poke out far. Junggu's holding this flank. And you have Dante here, but nobody's holding this underside. So, like, now, like, Happy should be moving closer to his diva or moving back. And, like, even if he moves, the problem is if he moves back, then he's just going to get caught by the dive. If he moves here, then it's better, but what they can do is they can have Gator, Pelican, like, push this way, and then they can have Edison try to contest him. Now, he won't die because he has Piggy. But if Piggy, like, tries to just turtle with Happy, then who's going to die? Iris, Massa, but at least it will be better. At least they can try to punish it. Like, Hawk would have to DM these shots. But let's see, where is he positioning? You should know they have Nano. With Nano, like, it's dangerous to position there. The C just gets pushed back because nobody's controlling this. Against far, you have to be really careful. If there's no echo to contest that far, then you can't position close. You need to have like long sight lines. And like, so bad positioning by Happy. Okay. Okay, let's see how the game break's going. How much time do I have to review the... How much time do I have to review the New York match? Okay, let me change the title of my stream real quick. I'm going to use the second scene. It isn't starting soon. It will start soon. Once, I'll come back in a minute. Bear with me. Okay, let me not make the same mistake as before. There we go. Hi, welcome back. So right there, like, Houston, like, they're just really bad. They're just really bad at, like, controlling the map. If they have space, they just back up all the way. They just back up from that bridge, and then, go figure, they lost. They lost. I don't know why. I don't know why.
In the top.
Like, Atlanta are kind of playing like shit. Like, their engaged timings were pretty questionable. Like, NA, like, in the NA region, like, these ball mirrors are really scuffed. And, like, both teams don't know what they're doing. But one team's worse than the other. One team has to be worse than the other. And in this case, it happens to be Houston. Okay, I'll save this like when the replays viewer is like available. I want to review this more in detail, but okay. So we're gonna have the Ash One Trick himself sub in. Let's go. So, oh, King's Row. This would be interesting. We finally get to see the turtle comp, probably. Now, that being said, it didn't really work well for Houston, for, like, Atlanta. And I guess it will work even worse now because they have no Lucio. So the rotation speed is going to be pretty damn bad. Okay. Okay, I expect this to be Ryan. I'm calling it. Okay. Oh, we see this tank line. This is going to be Ryan, I guarantee. Almost guarantee, or Orisa. Orisa. There we go. So they want to play this turtle comp. And like, this is just going to be like trying to punish Houston, trying to delay them a bit, just trying to stall the point. The Pelicans will have to play more defensively. Kai's gonna look for angles, look to punish with the break. Meanwhile, Houston are probably gonna play like they're running Brig. Zenda's probably gonna be Somber Tracer or something. They're playing Widow. Why are they playing BAP? Brig. Play Brig. Play Brig. So Dante can get into the back line. Play Brig. Okay, what's with them and Bap? Oh my god. Okay, the stream's a bit laggy here. I don't know why. Okay, so we got position low ground. Just gonna turtle on point. Fine. Now, Houston should really be looking to now take the high ground. Like, put Happy on high ground. And so they rotate their backline up there. Good. Okay, switch this to Brig. Okay, so let's see where Jungkook's rolling. Like, Afar would probably break this pretty easily. So Pelicans marking Dante. Dante should probably find a way to break through. Okay, so I'm not sure what Jungkook's doing. So looking for angles to try to poke this out. They can still kind of play the poke war against this. Because they do have a bit of poke. Wait, why? Where's Jungkook should be really be pressuring this harder. Okay, now he's back there, but it needs to be way earlier. He needs to be like kind of behind them and just poking them. Draw like attention towards him so that Zen, Tracer, Hanzo can carry. Okay, so now they have point. These balls are really passive compared to like APAC balls. Okay, so they're gonna like try to combine those ults. Doesn't work. Big pulse bomb. Oh, now like they can't just fight on one side though. Why? Wait, why? Why is Jungkook back there? Please switch to Brig. Please switch to Brig. Please switch to Brig. Even Mercy could work. Mercy would actually work kind of well because you can pocket Happy and Happy will shred through this way faster. Like, maybe Dante would have a bit of trouble, but if you can shred away their resources, like, Dante isn't really worried about Pelican. He can take that duel. He has his Zen. He's worried about, like, stuns and stuff, and he's also worried about Like break probably wouldn't do much, but being able to shred the shield, like putting more pressure, putting pressure on Kree from the front would be really good. It would distract him. It would prevent him from like just like focusing on Dante. Okay, so they're breaking through. They're breaking through. Okay, let me see. Sorry for this, but how did they lose against us? They have Dante behind. Pelican should really be on this. Oh, as can see, like good flank by Dante, but Pelican should be on this. Like, he's drawing a lot of attention. Okay, this stream's kind of laggy. I have to refresh. Sorry. Okay, so now Atlanta have 4 ults. They can now, like, look to play a more aggressive game. So Pelican's behind. So it's good. Good aggression. Pelican's now flanking. And Houston have no response. Okay, so now they're behind. Now they're behind. Good. Good. Like, now, like, it's easier for, like, the team to... They're being surrounded. And so, like, are they really just... Set up. Why are there, like, 4 on cart? Maybe they want to push it that corner. It's a bit better, but... It's a bit better for them because there's more high ground to fight. Okay, well, Zhanggu should be up there controlling that. Or maybe Piggy. Like, that high ground's critical now. And then, like, once you have that, why is Zhanggu just playing on cart? Why isn't Zhanggu up there? Okay, he's just gonna roll through the front line. Gets Pelican. Oh, Zhang, like... Like, this ball play is really, like, bad. Sorry. Like, in order to win against this comp, you kind of need Zhanggu behind to, like, kind of distract Kai, distract, like, Iris, distract Gator, allowing your team to have a poke advantage. And then, like, once it forces out resources, which allows you to go more aggressive in turn. So, like, by playing passive, then they just don't have to use anything to deal with you. So, like, they're just gonna have a poke advantage, in fact. At mid-range, at least. Like, you have a Zen. Zen's insane for doing a lot of poke, but if Zen's being, like, harassed by all their DPS because you're putting no pressure on their backline, then you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win. You're just gonna lose. It's not like Sombra. It's not like there's a Sombra. Okay, so... Okay, so we have the attack. They're gonna run Widow. Okay, with the Widow, I want to see more aggressive defense. Soldier, I would prefer Tracer Sombra. Unless, like, you're playing Pharah. Like, it's kind of hard to play against those more brawly comps, but then you can switch, well, you can switch to Pharah yourself. Okay, so now they have a Kai on Widow. They kind of need to play, like, behind. I think he's going to switch to Kree. Yep. Okay, please switch off map. No. No. Where's your team? You kind of need to be poking this. Allowing Zen to poke and then you go in. So now just go rotate for free. Because there's no pressure anymore. No, Jungkook's not really good at ball. Well, like, that's exactly why his engagement timings on ball are whack. Okay, so now Atlanta are just on point. Let's see how they retake. Pelican dies. Wait, now the fight's a lot more brawly. So wait, how did they take that? So Jungkook engages, but Pelican dies. And now Atlanta have like shit tons of sustain, so now Houston really have to play this slow. Well, at least they have window. At least they have window, so they could shred through this sustain faster. And Pelican's going for a pulse bomb play. Does he really have to go for that? Okay, I guess it didn't do anything. Okay, let me see what happened this fight. Sorry for going back again. So nobody's contesting this angle. Please? Please? Anyone? Now. But the damage has already been done. Pelican gets 2 and... So you're not using their Zen to like even control the map necessarily. Like Jungkook needs to be on that. I'm not sure if he was alive, but... Okay, let me refresh. So now we're going to fight the duel against Pelican. Receive the... Zen's back there. Kai gets happy. Oh, big mistake. Now he engages. Gets Gator. See who wins this Tracer duel. Oh, they do. I'm not sure they're really using their Zen correctly. The problem with Zen is that you can't Discord anyone in that mega room. Okay. Dragon? Dragon? What's that for? Why is there no extra pressure? Okay. Oh, Dante kills Kai. Reset. Be careful. No need. Okay, so like it's okay to take the duel against Pelican, except that he just went for the front, so it's really easy for Pelican to hit him. It's because like Jungkook's kind of distracting Iris Massa a bit, so. Oh, Pelican kills Happy. Now, I'm not sure, like, the problem with the Zen here is just that, like, you have no sight lines. Like, normally you just Discord Pelican here, and then, like, you can have Dante or Jungkook push out Pelican. But they're winning the poke battle despite going against, like, they're winning the poke battle despite going against, like, this Ball Zen comp. Thing with Ball Zen is that you kind of need to, like, you're gonna play more like anti-poke. You're gonna play to eliminate angles first, and then like you're gonna go for backline. So like you kind of have like two things to do during a fight. You want to eliminate angles. You want to like force them back to their team, and then you want to force them, and then you want to clump everyone together, and then like that's when you go in, and that's when you have all the map control to poke and brawl them out. But Houston are not doing step 1. They're trying to do step 2, but they don't do step 1 consistently. Like, the main problem here is that, like, the Zen isn't doing much. The Zen pick is not showing its strength. Maybe it's because Crimso's positioning a bit too passively. Like Brig Zen, if you had Brig Zen, then you're more confident in your ability to position aggressively. That's why Brig Zen is such a good combo. Your Brig allows Zen to position somewhere so aggressive. Well, not so aggressive. Like Brig Zen Diva is a really good protective barrier for Zen. Now, like if you have a Brig Zen Diva like protection, then you should be aggressive. You should be like looking for those aggressive angles and looking to just use your damage, use your Discord, use your Harmony to influence the entire map. But like if you're not gonna use your Zen like that, let's actually like look at this closer. Well, how are they losing these fights so quickly? Okay, so right here they're running. So like the Zen should, now right here Dante should be on like Pelican maybe. Like now they're still playing. It's okay to take the duel. You have a Zen. You can try to like go here, and it's okay to take the duel. It's okay to play like anti poke. Like this Tracer's not really gonna like dive. Like she's just really there to like protect the team's flanks. But you can win the duel. You can just win the duel against this. Like where's Crimso positioning? They should bait Pelican there. Pelican should receive the Discord. But Hawk isn't a good Discord target. Like it should be Dante taking the duel against Pelican. And then once you win the duel, like I'm sure they can take the health pack, but like you can Crimso should be like over there initially. Crimso should be positioning here. Like, if we want to have all the action happen here, Crimso positions here, just kites back. It's not like there's a sim TP on the way. Position here, influence these flanks, influence the space around the statue, and then like once you have like space around here, then that's when you can look to brawl. That's when you can have like Hawk, not Piggy, go in. You can have Jake like maybe position here or even here, and like you can brawl. Like, even though they have the Zen, like, even though, like, they do want to use their Zen to poke a bit, you know, like, you still want to, like, you still kind of have to, like, brawl against this comp with these sightlines, because this map has a lot of mid-range sightlines. This map's better than, like, the long-range poke department. But, like, because Jianggu, like, just engaged here, you can see, like, where's, like, Dante? Where's Pappy? It's just, like, chip damage. Like, if he wants to do this, then he should be playing Winston, and this should be an Ana. Okay, let's take a look. So Jianggu dies. So Jianggu's behind, but okay. Okay, where's Jianggu? Jianggu drops here, gets halted, decides to fight this. Jianggu should really be rolling back and taking a health pack, and then like maybe he can wait for Happy to respawn, like all the way back here, and then like you can go for like a retake. But right here he just staggers. And, okay, so they're, at least they still have high ground. They could look to retake with that. Happy switching to the Hanzo. Okay. So Happy kills Pelican already. Let's see what happens next. So we have a Dante here. We have Crimzo here. We have Piggy pressuring from top. Now they should really just play slow, wait for Jianggu to get back here, and then you can look to engage. It's a 6v5. It's like should be like a pretty straightforward dive. Okay, where's Jianggu? Jianggu gets stunned, so Jianggu decides to like face tank the Kree. Probably the wrong. Okay, when did he get stunned? He gets stunned here. Is there enough pressure? Oh, there's not gonna be any like pressure if they're just focusing Gator. They need to be focusing backline. Force out a response. Like, you don't need anyone on Gator other than, like, Crimzo. And maybe Happy. That's enough damage to force him back to passive position. But there's no need for, like, 3-4 players on. Like, maybe you have Ball Tracer trying to, like, clear Kai here, and then, like, you can look to use that position to go there. So like, the engage micro is pretty bad as well. Okay, let's look at the Rialto map, though. They're going to play this. Interesting. Jerry started spectating. Lol. Okay. So this comp's gonna want to poke initially, destroy like some of the turret, and then that's when they brawl, or they just decide to go for soft dives. You kind of have to do this against this comp. They're running Tracer Genji though. They should probably go Winston. Because the thing is, unless you have like another ult to cycle with, then you're gonna be a blade bot, and you don't want to be a blade bot. It means you're useless like every other fight. Okay. He's gonna play pretty brawly. Okay, why are they? Well, this should probably be Ana. Well, like otherwise, like they just. Oh, so they finally switched to Tracer Sombra. Sure. Okay, if this should be Brig Zen. Like again. Okay, so they're gonna rotate high ground. They're really gonna take the fight here. Okay, they use Immort to take the fight there. Not my biggest fan of that. Now at least they have to drop the high ground. Okay, they're being stuck here, which is bad. Like once it gets stuck here, there's only like one small ass flank to use. You kind of need someone on high ground. So like maybe they kind of disengage there and look to rotate back to high ground. Now they're controlling the high ground, and there's a pretty long sight lines to go through. So they're gonna kind of need to like establish positions just to like get the back line to somewhere safe. Not a safe position. They do have like someone on the flank though. Good. Once you do outflank this comp sucks. Like you just kind of need like some poke with your Zen to win. Okay, how do they clutch this though? Okay, there's a lot of high ground they're not clearing. That's probably why. Let's take a look. Like they're now here, their backline's in the scuffed position. Now maybe they should look to like rotate their backline up to here, I guess. But like if they don't take if they don't at least have something controlling it, they kind of need Hawk like over here. Okay, they just go under, and nobody's peeling that off. Where's Piggy? Oh, Piggy gets demeched. Piggy goes too aggressive. Dumb mistake. Let's refresh. Sorry for skipping a fight, but that was pretty interesting. The EMP should like Houston are clearly having trouble finding flank positions though. Jianggu's on point. Not a big fan. Jianggu should be behind somehow. Have Hawk push. Piggy push, I mean. Where's Piggy, though? Like, the reason why, like, they're putting so much pressure on point is because there's no pressure behind. There needs to be some pressure behind. They need to be putting some play. Okay, they have Dante behind, but Jianggu also needs to be somewhere behind. Like, they need to use this flank more. They need to use this cover. But, like, they're just going in this comp from the front. You don't want to break in from the front. You want to be somewhere behind them, and then you want to, like, try to, like, poke them out using... If you had Brig, it would be easier. Since you have BAP, then you have to, like, kind of poke out this comp from longer ranges. Like, Brig Zen would just give them the option to, like, go aggressive. BAP Zen, like, with BAP, like, how are you gonna get heals? How are you gonna, like, heal that easily? Cheetos are deadly, for real. Let's go. Okay, this BAP pick is so dumb. Like, you're playing Tracer Sombra, which is relatively brawly with a BAP. And, like, the BAP, you're not going to heal Tracer Sombra that easily, so, like, your BAP's going to have to rely on getting a lot of poke damage done. So, like, basically what your Tracer Sombra are going to do is you're just going to try to distract them and try to get a poke advantage against this comp. But that's dumb. Like, in order for that to work, at least you need to get, like, someone behind the back line, and without a Brig, it's harder. Brig can't support your Tracer or Sombra that well. Okay, so now they have Widow. So they're going for, like, long-range poke. Oh, Happy gets a pick. So this comp's going to basically, like... Dante just really wants to mark Pelican. That's his job. Or otherwise, like, maybe have Piggy do it. Have maybe, like, Piggy, like, position near Happy. Happy shouldn't really be dying to this, though. Until, like, they get to here. Happy just died too early there. And remember, you know what hero would really be helpful in peeling for your Widow? A Brig. Let's go. The Widow's gonna be better here, but Atlanta I expect to just rotate and take away the space. It's going to be really hard to take this with a Widow, especially when you don't have... Well, honestly, BAP would probably be better than Brig in taking this, but not by a huge margin. Okay, so they have Jianggu, they want to, like... Oh, they all drop? Why? Well, I guess, like, they are mid-range, but they just all dropped. Like, I was worried that, like, the Widow would... Oh, they switched to Hanzo. Still, probably this count outranges. Okay, but, like, when they give the high ground, like, it just gives the opportunity for Houston to just brawl. Like, they need to put, like, Hawk on cart and have 5 of them hold the high ground. They're brawly, they can do that. Okay, you know the drill. Take high ground and put someone on cart. If you take the high ground, then you restrict their ability to actually control the cart. This is going to be pretty hard to rotate through, but they killed Junggu. Again, he's too aggressive. Doesn't need to be doing too much aggressive shenanigans. He just needs to like, distract them a bit, like, prod them a bit, and allow his team to poke with Zen, Bap, Hanzo. Okay. And Atlanta should win this pretty easily. Jungyu blows up, GG's, probably. Yeah, GG's. Houston, like, Atlanta did some dumb shit, but Houston's engages were so bad. Like, Atlanta dropping the high ground was probably the dumbest decision we've seen today, but in general, Houston were way dumber this match. Like, the BAP pick was just a throw. GG's. GG's. Let's go. Okay, next is Shock versus Uprising. Should I do that? Should I do that match? Okay, let me just do a shit break. BRB.